Alright, jumping right in, today is the money guide. Basically, Cyberpunk 2077 has a large amount of content, and a lot of it is very expensive. Good cybernetic mods can run upwards of $100,000, credits, whatever, eddies. Same with some of the legendary guns, and that's before you even think about buying a car, and those can be really expensive. Much like real-world Las Vegas, the city sucks the cash right out of you, and it's much more difficult to get it back than it is to lose it. With that in mind, here's a complete guide to making money in Cyberpunk 2077. First things first, main story missions. If you're looking to earn money quickly, main story content isn't the answer. These are best used for experience gain, and obviously they are a one-time thing, that's a given. Cruising through the main story is a huge part of the game, definitely, of course, but if you're looking to farm currency for a particular item or mod, whatever it is, it's best to put them aside and focus on something else entirely. So what do you need to focus on? The easiest and most gameplay intensive method that I could find so far is to go to your map and sort by open world. These are all the blue NCPD icons that range from crimes in progress to organized crime hideouts. There are a large number in each of the different districts, ranging in difficulty from easy to hard, and these should be honestly your main priority in the cycle of earning money, as a first step. The reason for that is twofold. Not only do these missions very often come attached with a decent sized reward, but they also raise your street cred level, which is a progression mechanism by which the game allows you to access and do more gigs and jobs, which are the next phase of the process. Also, when clearing the blue crime indicators, keep an eye out for cash rolls on tables or chairs, whatever it is, and especially watch for the larger white rectangle boxes, kind of like a mini fridge. These are safes and can sometimes, if you're lucky, have 1,500 or so credits in them. It's not every time, but be thorough when clearing all the blue icons because they very often have at least one or two safes, especially the organized crime hideouts. Definitely be thorough with those. In Phase 2, when you start to run low on the NCPD alerts, if you've cleared out all the ones for your level or you just don't really want to go to higher content, whatever it may be, it's best to switch over to the map filter called Jobs, that tab, and start farming gigs and other yellow marker icons. These are usually a bit longer than just the crime alerts. They can often pay quite a bit more, and then one step up from those as well are the yellow question marks, which can be entire hour or 2 hour long side mission sequences or mini campaigns, which again, once in a while end up being extremely rewarding, but I'm not sure if the time is actually worth the investment. Eventually, obviously, you'll do all of them if you want to, and they're quite fun, and I highly recommend them, but in terms of just raw efficiency for farming currency, you might want to stay away from the question marks. The bulk of your money is going to come from the crime alerts themselves, the blue icons, and yellow gig/jobs as well, but just not so much the side quests. Now, as you do this, there's going to be a particular process that works best. For anyone who's seen the top 5 tips video I did, it's basically the inventory management section of that. Pick up everything, deconstruct greens and whites. When you are full on purples and blues, deconstruct some of those that you don't want. If you really want to maximize just the currency aspect, you can save any shotguns, LMGs, sniper rifles, or precision rifles because those seem to have the highest relative cost when sold to a vendor or a Dropbox. However, if you want to also maximize your gain of upgrade components, which will be a pretty crucial bottleneck in your gameplay later on if you find an iconic weapon that you really enjoy, deconstruct pretty much everything. Now, once you've done as much of this as you need or care to do, it's time for Phase 3. And this is the point where you need to offload the excess components that you have found and cross-convert between rarities. There's probably more than one location to do this, but one such place is here in Japantown, under a bridge. There's a junk vendor that you can access after, I believe, a main story mission very early on, but if not that, then a low-level side quest, the yellow question marks, somewhere nearby. This junk vendor sells upgrade parts of all rarities for a scaling cost, and all you have to do is just offload the excess green components that you have. Blue is useful, so you probably won't want to sell that, at least not early on, to a Dropbox nearby or to him, either way. And also, then, if you want to, purchase some of the higher rarities to round out your stock. I kind of find that this give and take ebb and flow works really well, where you go in with a lot of green components, sell him some, then buy some of the rarest materials, then sell him more, and you kind of like trade your money back and forth to maximize your own inventory and get the most out of it. But however people want to do it is up to them. I typically try to spend about half the money that I gain from selling the greens on blues and a few purples at least. This lets me have a great pace of upgrading gear and keeping my weapons on level curve, so they're at maximum efficiency all the time, while also keeping a chunk of the profits. In addition to that, if you just wait right in front of him for 24 hours, his stock fully replenishes, so you can do this as much as you need to. Now, that's all just one heavy gameplay loop of activities that you would probably already be doing, so I have another method to add here. In your consumables tab, there are drinks and food. For some reason, I don't know why, the drinks can be dismantled, like just the drinks, can be dismantled for 3 green upgrade components each, which are worth 8 credits each, while the item itself is only worth 10. With that in mind, all we have to do is visit a vending machine, and you can just literally more than double your money, as long as it remains stocked, with each purchase. The best place to do this that I've seen so far, at least, is Mega Building 10 right where you start the game. The method's pretty simple, honestly, since the machines are so numerous, and you just run from one to the next, only ever buying from the drink machines. That's important. And I find it best to always buy the same type whenever possible. I say whenever possible because sometimes the machine might get jammed. You can't just spam the button as fast as possible, though you can do it pretty quick, because sometimes it will just stop dispensing, but you will still be able to click and spend. When that happens, move to the next button and keep going. It usually declogs it, and so on and so forth till it's sold out, or until you can't actually click one without getting a soda, right? Like until they're all jammed. There are a ton of these machines, and sometimes you can get dozens and dozens of drinks from a single one, which equals hundreds of green crafting components worth thousands of dollars when sold. I did this for, I'm not really sure, I didn't actually keep track, but maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and had between 400 and 500 of the drinks, which, when accounting for the original cost, is around 7,000 credits in that time frame. The machines seem pretty random, both in when they respawn and also in how much they respawn with, and the place I used was obviously Mega Building 10, the lobby, the middle floor, the courtyard, etc. And when running fairly far away, let's say like half a block, it seems like the machines force reset, but if you find a place with more machines in closer proximity and you can increase the yield, it will directly increase the profits. I'm sure that on the map somewhere there is a drastically superior spot, so if someone finds one, just comment down below and I'll update my pinned comment to reflect where that spot is on this video. If you do this efficiently, you can get at least tens of thousands of dollars per hour, and if you do it inefficiently, it's still probably better than most other methods that I can think of. And if you find a better spot than me, then who knows, the sky's the limit. The downside is that you don't get any experience at all for it, and you also can't even hack the machines to make them spit out the drinks faster, because when you do that, it spits out broken garbage. The last method is a lot slower, but has the upside of allowing for hacking experience gain while you do it, and it's really pretty simple. All you have to do is ping any network you find and then breach any access point or computer you can. This has 2 benefits. 1, it actually awards currency when you succeed, and 2, it gives you additional netrunner components which can also be sold or used. For the puzzle, it's best to try and do all 3 of them at the same time, but that can be kind of tricky, so if you can't, try for the highest tiered one, the one with the most numbers at the bottom, the 3rd one usually. The components this will award are the same value per rarity as those from deconstructing like weapons or armor or whatever, and it's a bit of a difficult thing for me to showcase a lot of because I only have intelligence level 3 on this character, but the basic loop is just go anywhere, scan, then ping an enemy that you see, or even just an object, and if there's a large congregation of highlighted lines connecting to a single point, that's the entry point or the access point. Go hack it, collect not only money but components, which you can sell for even more or use, up to you. By the way, the puzzle mechanics are just alternating vertical and horizontal rows, so you just have to like plan out your route and pick a vertical row that has one of the numbers, the first number, a horizontal row that also has the next number, and then that has to connect to a vertical row that also has the next number. So basically you're just alternating horizontal, vertical, and then trying to plan out your route so you're always tagging one of the numbers in that next row. Also, if you're choosing to hack for cash, the advanced data mine perk in the intelligence tree, this doubles with 2 points the number of credits that you earn from hacking any access points. And unless you are using this perk, both of the perk points in it, the method will be somewhat inefficient. And lastly, also probably the least valuable tip, that's why it's at the end here, for anyone not aware, mission performance is tied to credit gain. If it says optional, remain undetected, then you will almost certainly get a bonus payout if you meet that criteria. It can be all sorts of things like optional, deliver the car to the client as well, or remain undetected and leave the hotel room, and if you do it, bonus. So when doing any sort of mission at all, if, and only if, because bonus objectives are often not as fun, if you're trying to maximize income, do the bonus. Those are the tips. I tried to include a mix of stuff and also make sure to have something there that is more to the specialized maximum grinding end of the spectrum, so that if you really want to just buckle down and get the money that you need for whatever it is, you can do it in an efficient and repeatable way, because the truth is, most of the content in this entire game is not repeatable. Even the crime activity seems to get pretty much cleaned out over time, so the only true never-ending money farm that I have found, so far at least, is the vending machines. And if that gets patched, because dismantling a soda into 24 credits worth of item upgrade components is kind of ridiculous, well, hopefully by then I'll have another method. If you want to support, there are links down below. Merch, locals, Odyssey, a whole bunch of things, off-platform stuff, different financial ways to support, all sorts of, like, really, generally, a whole bunch of stuff is down there. Other social media, too. And also another YouTuber to check out, the one who made my PC and made it possible for me to even play this game efficiently, so please check him out. That's all down there in the description, but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.